Nebraska, Matt Rhule. Apparently he's hired another feisty old guy.
Dana Holgorsen.
Yeah, we know each other pretty well. Noel Mazzoni was on yesterday. Really good friends as well. Hired him. He was with TCU, I believe, most of the season this year. And I had Coach Gio on yesterday, who's an NFL quarterback trainer. And he's like, none of us get the move, Steve. You're in tune with a lot of this thing that's happening in college football.
There's a video, I think, JB, real quick, if you want to play it.
Yeah, we will. Give me one second. I just want to ask Steve and Smitty, what does this do for the program going forward? Because Dana Holgorsen's usually in some sort of consideration for a job every season.
Well, this is about making sure they don't waste Dylan Raiola.
But how do you go from TCU in the middle of the season to a new program and then run the offense? I don't see it.
Well, that's desperation. Look, I'm a big Matt Rhule fan, but this season has fallen apart. They've become a bit of a disappointment. I mean, look, I'll say it right now. If they rematch Colorado right now, Colorado would win that game.
Bad.
I just show you the development of the two teams. But Dylan Raiola is the type of guy that doesn't come around Nebraska often anymore. And so you got to make sure you do not waste that run. And this was supposed to be a year where Matt Rhule wins 8 to 9 games, and now you're thinking, okay, now we've got this thing foundationally set. Let's move forward. But you're supposed to beat UCLA at home. Yeah. You know, and they got outplayed. So this there's no doubt that is a desperation move. And maybe Matt Rhule thinks, you know, I'm not going to wait till spring ball or off-season conditioning to change my offense. I got to show Dylan Raiola and his parents, even though they are Nebraska Cornhuskers, hey, don't think about the transfer portal. We're going to take care of you here.
Let me ask you guys this, because I feel like we were all so high on Matt Rhule at the beginning of the season and his first couple games and off season of how he's built this system and the structure in Nebraska and did it his way. They look bad now, man. Like, is it time to like pump the brakes a little bit on Matt Rhule? Was he overhyped?
No, Smitty, I look at his track record and it's very good. He's a very good college coach. But the one thing I said about Nebraska is that they don't have a lot of speed outside. They have some decent guys like Barney. He was a Miami commit for about 2 minutes. I think they have decent receivers. There's got to be an emphasis this offseason, and I got to look at what they're doing recruiting. They got to bring in some fast guys to take the top off the defense. I think they're very pedestrian. They have a decent set of running backs. They have a very good tight end, but I don't know if they have a guy that scares you outside. And when you have Dylan Raiola, you better equip him with some weapons on the perimeter.
Steve, listen, we praise him and Dabo Sweeney for saying, all right, they're sticking to their guns. They're not going to go to the portal. They're going to not keep up with the Joneses. They're building some sort of continuity and a culture. And now, you know, Clemson has a bad loss after going on a run after the loss to Georgia. And then we're like, okay, maybe they are legit. They got a defensive line that's NFL ready and blah, blah, blah. And then Nebraska, we see them beat Colorado, and then we're saying the same thing. Oh, there's a culture there versus a band of mercenaries. And now the band of mercenaries talent wins in the long run and coaching loses. Coaching's overrated. And I say it every day. Bottom line is you need a culture. You need to do all those things. But if you don't have the Jimmys and the Joes, it don't matter about the X's and the O's. And Nebraska right now looks like a farm team school in the middle of nowhere on a bunch of haystacks that don't match up with the rest of the country via talent. I'm just saying that's what they look like. And UCLA should not beat them. And the teams that they're losing to right now should not beat them. And here's a video real quick of what's going on there with the Raiola and Holgorsen thing.
My 2 cents on it is if that Matt Rhule didn't make a move, the odds of Dylan Raiola not being here next season go up dramatically. And so I think that they had to do something. And bringing in a coach of Dana Holgorsen's pedigree and his offensive background and the number of quarterbacks that he's developed, taken to the next level, that's all of a sudden a much more appealing sales pitch for Dylan to stick it out here. And I can guarantee you with 100% certainty that he and his camp have received, tampering phone calls and people checking in, seeing if he wants to explore his options. But, I think that this is something that I don't know if they made it just to appease Dylan, but I think that maximizing Dylan Raiola was at the forefront of why Matt Rhule decided now was the time to do something.
Steve, here's my thing with that, Steve. So what? Let that fucker go. He ain't that good. Number one. Number two, let me go organically.
Well, now wait, here's the thing though.
Let me go organic. I hate it.
That's a very talented guy who's underperformed a little bit. It's not like they can get another Dylan Raiola. This ain't Alabama or Georgia or Ohio State.
Listen, it goes back to the whole argument of the non-organic recruiting fashion and manner that we're going about this in. And I just, if it was me, now this is just me, I'm going to go get the best high school kid in America. He may not be from Nebraska because they don't have a lot of talent.
That's what he was, though, coach. That's what Raiola was, though.
I get it, but he's not
one drop back quarterback in the high school.
Yeah, he has it. He has it.
Right, that's the issue.
Maybe that old school stuff don't work. They trying to do it. That old way ain't the new way. You got to go to the portal.
It ain't an old way. There's a guy named DJ Lagway out there in the same class, homie. I would have got him all day long.
No, but
he gonna leave this year, homie. He gonna leave.
This guy Raiola is a hype. I'm just telling you.
Smitty, keep this in mind. Billy Napier is getting another year, and I think that was in many ways to keep Lagway in the fold. Now, whether he stays or not, I don't know, but keep this in mind with Dylan Raiola. His dad was a legendary offensive lineman on those great Nebraska teams. So there's a family tie there.
I think that part, Steve, you just touched on plays into this more than what we're discussing. The play on the field is very below average. I'm just going to be honest. This kid is a hype to me, and now we're trying to hold him there, and it's going to cost the man.
Well, okay, Coach, if we did this show 24 years ago, we'd be saying Carson Palmer is a bust. He sucks. He can't play. I don't know. When Norm Chow came into his life, my uncle, suddenly things changed.
Yeah, but he always had the measurables, though. This kid, I don't know.
Well, the one thing I tell Dylan Raiola is this. God damn it, get a flat top. Do everything. You're not Mahomes.
Yeah.
Be you.
Be your own.
In fact, I don't even want you to have a white girlfriend. Get a black one. We're really not going to let you be Mahomes. I'm not getting a glacier glider. No, get a sister.
Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm with you on that.
And I want a flat top fade like you're leading a cameo or Big Daddy Kane in '89. But stop the Mahomes impersonation. It's bad. He does everything like him. It's terrible.
Everything, like literally everything.
Literally everything. The way he
game warm up,
and he does the jump, and I'm like, bro, you're Millie Mahomes.
Yeah.
I get being a fan, being young, but God,
hey man, Kelsey's girls out there. Go get Kelsey's girl and get rid of the milk and magnesia. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Listen, there's a lot of problems in Nebraska, and I'm gonna be honest, Steve. Let's just be honest here. This is just further proof to me that Nebraska's dead. This was the year I gave him an opportunity. I was like, all right, this is the year they turned it around in a mediocre era where you can actually win right away now. And he's not doing it, man. And Frank Solich and the legendary guys that they're just looking down on that program. Bo Pelini, that's what I'm saying. Bo Pelini last year,
9 to 10 wins. That's what he did.
Frank had 10 and got fired, and they now they're still reaping those. They're like, oh man, what did we do? You reap what you sow, man. You got rid of those guys.
Let's give Rhule a little time. I have faith. Rhule's track record suggests to me he will do good things at Nebraska, but this year has been a disappointment, no doubt.
Yeah, sometimes you take 2 steps back to go forward. I don't know if you can afford it though in this era with the mercenary band, but we'll see.